I-38 female, friend 34 female, unloaded all the dirty details of her affair to me and then started a smear campaign against me. Original post. I will try to keep this short. I've been friends with Raven and her husband Zach for over 10 years. I'm much closer to Raven, but Zach has always been in the picture. He's always been a pretty nice but quiet guy and we got along fine, but we weren't super close. It was just more of a female friendship, if you know what I mean. In April, Raven confided in me that she was having an affair with a married man, Nathan, 38 male. A married man who she works with. If that wasn't bad enough, Raven is Nathan's supervisor, and she would lose her job if the affair was outed because it violates the company code of conduct. I never pumped her for info about the affair, but Raven was all too gleeful to share that she is in love with Nathan, and he's the best, greatest, smartest, coolest, hottest male that she has ever met. In her opinion only, obviously. Truth be told, I've met Nathan, and I strongly dislike him. Raven has told a few other friends in our circle as well. However, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person she's had verifiable proof to, which leaves me as the only person who could prove the affair was happening, as far as I know at least. Well, Raven is a bit of a talker, and apparently she has talked so much about amazing Nathan at home that, lo and behold, Zach got suspicious and asked her if she was having an emotional affair with Nathan. Raven flipped out, and in retaliation, I assume, she's now telling everyone who will listen that Zach is having an affair with me. This is clearly false, and I've offered to give her all of our text messages, and there are hardly any. Take a lie detector, anything she wants. Her response to me is that she knows we aren't having an affair, and that she just didn't like Zach talking to me, and that accusing him of having an affair with me was the only way to make sure he was too scared to talk to me. She is clearly paranoid that I'm going to tell Zach that her affair with Nathan is actually physical, or show him the documentation and photos she sent to me. I wasn't planning on getting involved in all this, as it is their private marital business. However, in the last few days, I've had people that I barely know from our town ask me if I'm having an affair with Zach, and forwarding me screenshots of messages they received from Raven, telling them I'm a homewrecker. I cannot for the life of me understand why she's running a smear campaign against me. I'm a local business owner, and this could affect my livelihood. If I was reactive, I could easily out the affair to Zach and destroy her career. I don't want to do that because I don't want to get sucked into her crazy, and I don't take ruining a person's career lightly, especially when they have a family to provide for. But I'm at an absolute loss on how to confront this. I don't want her smear campaign to reach my family, affect my kids at school, or affect my business. I've told my partner, and he knows she's lying, and he has never liked Raven anyway, but he too is struggling with how to handle it. Her smear campaign is just a lie, and she admitted it to me in writing. I'm just flabbergasted. So guys, how do I get her to back off the smear campaign without getting caught up in her crazy personal life drama? Now for the top advice before reading the update. What is wrong with you? Even if your husband knows it's false, how do you think he feels with everyone looking at him like he's been getting cheated on? How will your kids react if they get to know? Are you really willing to hurt your family in order to protect this vile woman? Please be serious. I would never hurt my own family. Thanks for the gut check. Make 100 copies of her message to you admitting it is all a lie and send it to every person who reaches out to you. Those messages also discuss Nathan by name. Wouldn't sending those out just add fuel to the fire? I've seen a side of Raven in the last little while that I didn't know existed, and I really don't want her coming for me and my family. She's scary. Kinda sounds like it's her or you at this point. That's a good point. It makes me sick to my stomach to even think about. Make sure the screenshots show her number, not just her name. You need to burn her to the ground, and don't think twice about it. It would definitely fuel the fire, but she started this crap, and you don't need a homewrecker label on you. Be unapologetic. I cannot for the life of me understand why she is running a smear campaign against me. Seems pretty clear to me that she's doing it to take the heat off herself. Out her. Bring the receipts. Leave your scruples about ruining her career in the dust. After all, she's not concerned about ruining yours, right? I don't take ruining a person's career lightly, especially when they have a family to provide for. She's already ruined her career by having the affair. It just hasn't ended yet. Thank you. I know you're right. If I'm being honest with myself, I think I'm just afraid of her. Yep, I'd be too, because that level of antics is practically sociopathic. But you have receipts, use them. Plus, she's marrying the person she's cheating on. Now for the update. My partner and I met with Zach at a coffee shop. I hadn't seen him in a while and he looked awful, like he had lost weight and hasn't slept for a month. We bought him a latte and a sandwich and told him I had some very difficult information to share with him. I told him point blank that Raven is having an affair with Nathan and every detail I knew about it. I gave him my phone and let him read through the texts, as well as share the screenshots Raven sent me of her conversations with Nathan about the sordid details of their affair and sexy pics they took together. I apologized to him for not telling him sooner, as that was inexcusable. I thought Zach would be upset or distraught, but he seemed relieved. He teared up and thanked me for telling him, but it really seemed like a weight was lifted from him. I told him I would download a full conversation and all the screenshots and give it to him on a flash drive so he can decide what to do with them. He kept repeating, "I knew it wasn't me." Zach then played a recording from the security camera in their garage that picked up a conversation as he was trying to leave the house and she was standing behind his car to block him in. Guys, I didn't even recognize the person in that video. She was crazed, throwing things at him, calling him an insane person, talking about how their son is on the spectrum because of Zach's weak inferior genes, and screaming at him about how it's his fault that I cut off contact with her and she lost her best friend. At the end of the video, she started kicking at him and he just backed away to avoid it. I was dumbfounded. I had no idea she was like that behind closed doors. He said she has gotten worse lately, but she has always had an issue with rage. I am sick to my stomach, but told him that my partner and I have his back, whatever his needs are. He said he is calling a divorce lawyer and moving forward. As for me, I blocked Raven on all platforms, and I sent the texts in which she acknowledges that she knows her smear campaign is a lie to the people who have reached out to me. I sent the same screenshots to my lawyer, who will be sending her a cease and desist letter with a text chain attached, telling her to stop her smear campaign, and that I will be forwarding her statements to every single person who I learn was told this lie. I hope like crazy that she doesn't double down and come for me, but I am ready if she does. When we left the coffee shop, Zach gave me a hug. The irony of this entire thing is that it's the first time I think I've ever even touched a guy. Yet here I am defending an accusation that I had a full-blown affair with him. Next story. My boyfriend and best friend are in love with each other. Original post. I've never experienced this kind of betrayal before. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know how to handle this situation. For some context, Debbie's my best friend since high school, and my boyfriend Adam and I have been together for 2 years. All three of us would hang out together, and I saw the relationship between Debbie and Adam as a friendly banter, that of a brother and a sister. Debbie never spoke down on Adam, nor Adam of Debbie. Of course, they'd have disagreements, but I always saw it as something funny like children fighting. I noticed signs when Debbie started saying that she didn't want Adam to hang out with us. She said she just wanted it to be her and I. Every time Adam got mentioned or anything, she'd look super upset. I asked her what was wrong, and she insisted it was nothing. Fast forward to the next day. I'm staying the night at Adam's, and he's asking about Debbie. He said she's acting weird. I asked if he talked to her, and he said not much, but that she seemed off, and he asked me to check on her. Adam went to take a shower, and he got a message from Debbie. He's always left his phone around me, and I really didn't think anything of it, so I checked it because I had messaged Debbie, but she never responded. The first message she sent was, "I feel horrible and I love her, but I can't help how I feel about you. You need to choose because you can't have both." Apparently, Adam and Debbie had hooked up a few months ago after Valentine's Day, and almost all the time since. I remember when Adam brought Debbie and I flowers out on Valentine's Day, but I only thought of it as a friendly gesture. Debbie was so happy. It was all she talked about. She kept telling me how lucky I was, but as my best friend, I didn't think it would mean she would do this. I read more messages. Times when Debbie and Adam said they were hanging out with friends or doing overtime at work, they were with each other. They had sent each other spicy photos, and Adam had even compared me and Debbie's bodies. She had been trying to convince Adam to tell me about them and leave me, hoping I would understand that they were in love. But apparently Adam was still in love with me and didn't want to let me go. Debbie was always there for me, supportive and kind, the most beautiful person I'd ever known. And Adam, the love of my life, who would have given his last dollar if it meant I'd be okay, was an old soul, someone you could always depend on. So I don't understand why they do this to me. I used my phone to take pictures of everything, and when Adam came back out, I told him my mom had an emergency and I had to leave. I needed some time to process what I was feeling and think about my next steps. I spent the whole night crying and reading over all the messages I'd collected. After losing myself and crying myself to sleep, I woke up the next morning and took a long shower. I pondered for a bit, but ultimately decided that no friend or boyfriend should treat me this way, and I needed to do something about it. I haven't confronted Debbie or Adam yet, though they both texted me asking if I'm alright. I'll probably sit them both down together and handle this like adults. I'm almost 30. I thought maybe we'd get married one day, and Debbie would be my maid of honor. I thought wrong. Now for the top advice before reading the update. Don't give them the satisfaction of more of your time. Cut them both out of your life. There's nothing salvageable here. They both betrayed you beyond the point of forgiving. This is the way. Take your screenshots and keep them safe for the flying monkeys when they come. But just cut these two out. You don't live together. They clearly don't care. They've betrayed you as they want their cake and eat it. You owe them nothing. Nearly 30 and still young. Go out and live your best life. And blank the bastards. Exactly. I'd ghost them. Block them everywhere. Tell mutual friends you won't be hanging out around these two any longer. Then start the healing process with therapy and self-care. There's not a damn thing that will come after either of their mouths that will do anything but cause further pain. Take heart that like 90+% of relationships starting from infidelity fail and leave them to their inevitable train wreck. Tell your friends what they did. They do not get to control the narrative. Cut them both off. Go no contact and let your friends know that you don't want to hear about them and that they're not to share info about you to them. Exactly. I'd blast it out in the world. Let these pieces of work deal with the consequences. Same. I'd post the screenshots. If they want to be together, everyone deserves to know how they got together. I wouldn't even give them another second of my time. I would send them a text that said, "Since you both couldn't respect me enough to not cheat and lie, I no longer want any contact with either of you. I am serious. Do not contact me in any way." And block them. I agree with this. I would make it shorter. Our relationship is done. Never contact me again and I will do the same. It is my final decision and not an invitation for discussion. Respect it. Then block them everywhere. OP, you are in complete shock right now. It is silly, but playing Tetris or Worldly or Sudoku help to process the shock. Look up butterfly hug technique on YouTube. It is very simple movement and it will also help you to ground yourself. If you have mutual friends, relatives, ask them to not be flying monkeys. Never share information about you with them and vice versa. Not invite you at the parties when they are invited. Treat yourself like a little child who is not feeling well. Eat well, sleep, cry, pamper yourself, get a massage, go somewhere out of town. Talk about it with someone you trust. Journal your thoughts. Just write for 30 minutes every day whatever comes to mind, even if it is the F word written 100 times. You are in hell now, but it will get better. It always does. I would not talk to them. This conversation could hurt you even more. They will keep apologizing. They will tell that they never wanted to hurt you, that they love you. Debbie will say that they fell in love and could not fight it. Adam will be ashamed and afraid to look at you. Do you need it? There is nothing else they could possibly say. Don't give them the opportunity to ease their conscience by saying they're sorry. Now for the update. First, thank you all for such kind and supportive words and thoughts. And thank you to those who reached out to me to make sure I was okay. I didn't think I'd get too many responses. I just put it out hoping to get some advice, but I got so much more than that. And sorry I'm so late with what followed next, but it was a long day. I've been friends with Debbie since freshman year of high school. She threw away 16 years of friendship. I helped pay off her car she drives around in. It's okay. She did come over, and I didn't have to tell her I knew, because in my anxiety at Adam's, I accidentally left the messages open on his phone, and they both called my dad to check on my mom, and found out I lied about her emergency, so they both are aware I know now. I wanted Debbie to explain in detail how they started hooking up. Long story short, it was actually on Valentine's Day. I was the night shift, and they'd been at my apartment waiting for me and got drunk and did it on my couch. They both have a key to my apartment. When I had come home, they were fully clothed and passed out on opposite sides of the couch. I remember feeling bad for leaving them all night to be bored. Now I see they put each other to sleep. After Debbie told me, I just forced her out of my apartment. I practically dragged her out. She wouldn't give back my key. Adam had been blowing me up the whole day, but couldn't come see me till he was off work. Even when he did, his reasons and explanations were stupid. He claimed to still love me, still want to be with me, and promised never to speak or see Debbie again. I didn't even hear the rest of it. I just told him to leave. I'm watching the maintenance man change the locks as I type this. My heart is hardened towards them both after learning about their lies. And I'm extremely hurt, and my trust has been broken, and I feel as if I'll never be able to really love again. In all honesty, I hope they stay together and figure out if it was worth it or not. What also hurts is, I still love them, but I hate them both at the same time. There's no fixing this. There's no rekindling it. And to those who kept pushing me to do an open relationship with the both of them, please go screw yourselves. Or better yet, go be in an open relationship with someone who cheated on you. They've been hooking up behind my back for months now. If Adam wanted an open relationship, he would have asked. Plus, polygamous relationships have never been a thing for me, and never will. I don't agree with it, and I find the entire subject to be stupid, but to each their own. They are both blocked, and I sent screenshots to all of our friends and parents. Yes, my own. Yes, Debbie's, and yes, his. All our parents are close friends, especially me and Debbie's parents. I'm sure it would be nice to watch their world burn, but instead, I'm going to have the couch they banged on delivered to Debbie's house, with the same wine they drank that night sent to Adam. I'm going to go shopping for a new couch eventually, but my recliner chair will do for now. I don't know if they'll stay together, but if they do, no one will support them. No one will be on their side, and no one will ever trust them or believe anything they say. And that's revenge enough for me. Again, thanks for everything.